product or service. The students in this class are divided into their own companies that work together along with their mentors who work directly with them to provide guidance. This year, our mentors were Mrs. Monica Thigpen, Mr. Daniel Colbert, and Mrs. Lori Taylor. We also had a number of coaches that were instrumental in the students' progress. Tonight, our Sharks are Mr. Brian Jensen, Mr. Jerry Fox, Mr. Ray Feeney, Mr. Jeff Porter, and special guest Andy Shalonik with us tonight. Tonight, you are going to hear from each of our 4 companies, Dietary Detective, Junior Jobs, Closet Collab, and Carmel Cafe, as well as a testimonial from Liz Schuler and her experience with the Business Incubator here at Carmel and at Dayton this past summer. Last year, I had the privilege of being chosen to take part in the inaugural Business Incubator class here at Carmel. This year, I was chosen as a student mentor to help guide the juniors this year on their journey through the class. I'd like to thank Ms. Lindgren for allowing me to be a part of this amazing experience my last 2 years here. I was fortunate enough to get to know each of these students and see their companies grow and grow each week. They put in endless hours both inside and outside the classroom. Whether it be going through sharebacks or financial models, these juniors never gave up on a chance to move their companies forward. I was very honored to get to know each and every one of these students, and am very proud to introduce our first group of the night. Our first group is Junior Jobs. Group mates Carolyn Bird, Cole Danner, Danny Graham, Sydney Johnson, and Connor Schultz have been working all year to provide help to teenagers. As teens themselves, they understand the struggle of their initial target market. When first seeing this group, their hard work and dedication to this program was never ending. Every class, this group was working hard on their company, always open to help and advice from outside perspectives. Just a few weeks ago, I remember one team member, Danny Graham, was the first to step up without hesitation to present an elevator pitch of their group's idea to the coach that came in that day. He had no practice prior, but was so enthused by the presentation that he was ready to present on the spot. If it wasn't for his teammates, Carolyn, Cole, and Sydney and Connor, he wouldn't have been as prepared as he was. This event is just a small example of the enthusiasm and devotion this group has for their idea. If you know any teen, student, or even child of your own that's looking for a job this summer, I would consider investing in this product. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Junior Jobs.
I'm Cole Danner.
And I'm Sydney Johnson.
I'm Danny Graham.
I'm Carolyn Bird.
And I'm Connor Schultz.
And we are Junior Jobs.
Waiting for a response. Teens in the 21st century, waiting for a response is a time of the past. Nowadays, because of technology, everything comes instantaneously. Teens use sites such as Instagram and Facebook to receive instant gratification on their posts. Because of this, our generation tends to be more impatient. And while most things nowadays are instantaneous, the part-time job market remains unreliable, slow, and inefficient. We have a solution to this problem: Junior Jobs.
We at Junior Jobs realize a massive problem in teenagers nowadays. Teenagers are finding less and less employment. Since 1994, the teen employment rate has dropped nearly 20%. We at Junior Jobs attribute this to it being harder for the teen to find the job and then losing interest when they don't get replied to right away. Once we realized this problem, we surveyed the parents of students at Carmel. 100% of them said that having a job builds character, responsibility, and dependability.
From the parent surveys mentioned before, we took some quotes from the parents that highlight why having a job is so essential and important for the growth and development of teens. We found that many parents believed that having a job taught children and teens accountability, time management, and money management. What is Junior Jobs? Junior Jobs is a tailored website that helps streamline employees to open job positions and employers to ready staff. Our unique value proposition is to young adults who need help finding employment.
Now, how does Junior Jobs work? A teen would go onto our website and need to sign up. the first thing they would do is enter their email, their name, and their address. After that, they would take a short questionnaire. This questionnaire would help us find a job that we feel pertains to them very well. After that, a map would pop up. There'd be 3 different pins. Green, meaning all the jobs we feel that pertains to them and that they would enjoy. The red are all open jobs in their area, and gray is for the businesses that have decided to sign up on our website but do not have jobs open currently. On the side of the map, there would be a section with 4 different categories of jobs: retail, food, and entertainment. Also, etc. for all those miscellaneous jobs that we haven't thought of yet.
What do all these numbers have in common? They all represent the possible job opportunities in the United States for young adults. In the United States, there are about 28 million small or self-owned businesses. In Illinois, there are approximately 1 million. And then in the surrounding Lake County area, there are about 20,000.
Businesses, but what about the teens who need to have the employment, right? Well, they start in America. That's about 31 million, but that's a little too big for us to start with. So we go back down to Illinois. That's about 1.4 million. Still too broad for us to start. So we went to Lake County. That's 83,000. But around 20% of those kids either don't want a job or they already currently have a job. So that leaves us with 80%. That's 66,000 16 to 22-year-olds that want a job, and we can apply that for them.
These are our main competitors. Our top competitor is Indeed. Most jobs on Indeed are marketed towards young adults or mainly adults with college degrees. So they don't really pertain to teens who don't have a college degree, so they can't use Indeed. ZipRecruiter, on the other hand, is similar. It is a fixed web engine that pulls different jobs from different websites, and it is extremely confusing for teens to use because you don't know if the job is reliable or unreliable. And then Snag a Job and Monster, while they are marketed towards teens, they are extremely unreliable in the way that they're very hardly kept up to date.
Now, how much is it going to take to make junior jobs? Our startup cost is $7,600. We have 4 main categories that this goes into. Administrative is for our starting up bank accounts, as well as a little bit of extra buffer money for any situation we didn't think of just yet. Our next is development cost. For that, we have to buy our URL, as well as develop the actual website. On top of that, we need a PayPal and a credit card system implemented into our website for the businesses to use. Marketing is very important, and that is our 3rd category. And for that, we'll be making sure we make and design different advertisements for different websites like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The last one is consulting. We need lawyers for any legal situations, as well as we need a web designer.
For our revenue, we currently have 2 different subscription plans. One being $60 for 1 year, the other being $25 for 3 months. The reason we are adding 2 different subscription plans is because some businesses may not be looking for employment all year round, like businesses in a water park or an amusement park, but places like a fast food restaurant, they're looking for help anytime, anywhere.
To keep our website afloat, we would need to pay $5 a month. This would be used to help keep our website secure and to keep our URL on the internet. In our first month of making a profit, we plan on making about $75. This is equal to about 15 subscriptions. Our gross margin profit would be around 93% if this shapes out to be.
Now, we don't plan on turning profit until month 8, where we will have 15 monthly subscriptions, giving us $75 in profit. Hopefully, by the end of year 1, we will have 85 subscriptions, giving us $1,350 in profit. If our calculations are correct, by the end of year 5, we should have $19,223 in profit. In the future. Now, don't think we forgot about those teens with a crazy academic schedule, lots of extracurriculars, and who are super into sports and athletic life. Hopefully, by the end of year 4 and start of year 5, we will have enough profit to start another branch of our business, Fast Cash. Fast Cash will be a mobile application for these teens with hectic lives who can't have a full-time job to work on their schedule during weekends or weekdays, whatever works for them. Examples of the jobs that they would be working would be things like babysitting, mowing the lawn, and shoveling snow. And these are just a few of the possibilities.
So, we are asking for $5,000 for a 10% stake in our company. We are going to use this money to purchase sophisticated software, build our website, and market our company. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Well, first of all,
sorry, better? First of all, great job. I was a part of the original presentation. I love the idea. I think it's brilliant and well thought out and well needed in today's society. There's a couple areas I think you're selling yourself short. Finding that, it's not so much about finding that person to fill that part-time or junior level job, as you guys are calling it. It's about finding the right person. So I think you're short selling a little bit on your revenue stream. The subscription rates, if you go into, let's say, a Home Depot or another retail outlet right now, there's a very good chance if you stay for a certain amount of time, you'll get a $100, $200, $500 bonus. So you guys are bringing the people to them, so you're entitled to a bit more than that. But overall, it's a great job, and I think it's fantastic.
so I was not part of the original committee a couple months ago. I need to understand something. Explain to me the subscription model. Is that the employer that pays the subscription fees or the candidate, the junior?
The employer would pay for the subscription fee.
All right, I like that. That's good. Shifting gears briefly, and then I'll turn over the microphone. Have you guys thought about liability risk? So you're plugging in a junior into a job, into a big retail operation, for example, like Home Depot, and this teenager is not a good kid, not just not a good fit, but just a bad kid. I don't know, but have you looked into the legal aspects of any risk associated with liability back to your company for placing or connecting somebody like that with a client company like Home Depot?
We're just leading the teen towards the application of the job. We're not connecting them and saying that this would be perfect. We're just saying we think you would like something. You like tools, you like building, Home Depot, maybe a job you might like. You can apply on their website, or you can go into the store and grab an application. So we'd only be showing them jobs that are open.
Good, thank you.
I would just have one comment about your revenue model. Just as an employer who's always looked for people, you may want to just a comment, reconsider what you're asking, 60 per year and 25 for 3 months. You could, in my opinion, ask a lot more because it's so valuable as an employer to get somebody good. It's worth a lot more than, say, 60 bucks. So.
Hey, you guys, great job. When you showed your competitors, I actually think there's a different group that you're competing with. It's Angie's List, it's Craigslist, it's newspapers, right? That's where people are going to find, different types of contractors or people to take those jobs. So if you guys can find a way to target the teens and use the technology and branding that relates to them, whether it's tweet, Instagram, those technologies that they're going to relate to, I think you're going to get a much better hit rate from the students, and you're going to have to build up critical mass so that the companies want to pay the subscription rate. So you've got to capture those 80,000 students, get them come to your site, and then you'll get the employers to come to want to mine that $80,000 or that 80,000 employee base. So great job.
Thank you.
I concur, good job. My question is, there was a comment about the profile and the characteristics of the teen to match up with the jobs. how do you get the characteristics and the profile of that teen?
They'll be taking a questionnaire, so simple questions of like, do you like to entertain? Do you like to dance, sing? Are you okay touching food? So things that we know if they wouldn't like to go into the food business, we won't match them up with Chipotle. We would match them up with something more Target-wise, you know, retail. So we just ask them for a simple questionnaire, and we put that in, and we'd eliminate things we feel that they wouldn't like.
You know, you guys are of that age where you're going to be applying to colleges, and a lot of the seniors are already going to colleges. What I would call people sharing business of finding that ideal roommate is a business model that you could kind of copy as far as building that profile. Because at the end of the day, everything, if you notice, and when you fill one of those profiles out, it's all positive. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what gets you excited at night. Are you a weekend person? Are you a morning person? Or a night person? Things of that nature. So there's a way, and that's what teens today relate to. And then job prospects are gravitated to people that fill that niche. So again, thank you.
Is that all the questions?
Thank you. Does this work? Hello? Okay. Thank you, Junior Jobs. Our next group is Dietary Detective. Group mates Riley Palm, Amanda Powell, Camden Strutzel, and Morgan Terry have been working to provide a service to help those with heavily scheduled work lives. Based on their past experiences, their company rose from a common goal. I remember first hearing Amanda present the idea to the class in an elevator pitch at the beginning of the year. Her enthusiasm about this idea was apparent to the entire room. Once the groups were put together, after their first shareback presentation, it was obvious Riley, Camden, and Morgan had made this their vision as well. Their dedication and enthusiasm for this service had only grown stronger with time. Believe me, if you know anyone with a hectic work schedule, constantly awaiting just some free time to even eat, this company is one to invest in. It is now my honor to present to you Dietary Detective. They'll be out in a moment.
Hi, my name is Amanda Powell.
I'm Morgan Terry.
I'm Camden Strutzel.
And I'm Riley Palm, and we are
Dietary Detective. 263 million. So, I know you guys don't know what this number means yet, but how many of you guys can say that you know someone who eats in an unhealthy way of any sort? Okay, well, if you aren't all like raising your hand, then you all are lying to yourselves, because 80% of the population is considered to eat unhealthy, with not getting enough fruits and vegetables in their diet and overeating refined grains and sugars. So that's where this 263 million comes in. That is the amount of people in our population that does not get these requirements.
By the time I'm done presenting the slide, approximately 1 person would have died from a heart attack or a stroke. 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, someone dies from a heart attack or stroke. The scary thing about this is 50% of these deaths are from eating unhealthy. These are just 2 of the many types of diseases you can get from eating unhealthy. A couple more are diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and even cancer. We are working on a way to trim this number down and help people in the future.
Clearly, finding healthy meals can be a struggle for many working class Americans. So how are we going to fix it? How are we going to help people to obtain access to healthy foods? Our answer is Dietary Detective. Dietary Detective is a mobile phone application aimed specifically at working adults that have trouble finding healthy foods for themselves. It guides the user by listing the foods that are best suited to their specific needs and preferences, and it guides the user by listing the foods that are best suited to their needs and preferences and any further nutritional information. From there, it assembles custom meals based off the foods that the user selects, which they can then purchase at the store in a quick in and out, easy as buying fast food. Dietary Detective takes time into account, making buying food easier.
Our process is simple. Part of what makes Dietary Detective so useful is our easy-to-use layout. Users can access their newly formed meal plan in 3 simple steps. The first step is creating an account. This is where the user will input their information such as their height, weight, age, and gender. This will allow us to perfectly proportion their meals specific to their bodies. After that, the user will get our suggestions and get to input their thoughts about it. They will be able to put their preferences into it and customize it to themselves. We're looking to not just give them a meal plan, but let them customize it for their desires. The final step is to allow the user to pay for their newly made meal plan and select a store. This is where they can just walk into the store, pick up the readily prepared bag, and walk out. It's that simple. So who is our customer? Our customer are individuals ages 25 to 44, which is around 82 million people in the United States. We are looking to focus on health-conscious individuals who are looking for a more convenient way to eat healthy.
So for us to determine where our profits will be coming from, we must first determine who it is exactly that will be buying our app. So what this chart displays is the percent usage of health apps among 25 to 44-year-olds, which is the age group that we'll be marketing towards. As indicated by the chart, 17% of them claim to have used them regularly, 27% occasionally, 16% at least once, 27% would consider using them, and 13% say they will never use them. However, that still leaves 87% of them saying that they would use our app. Also, with the rise of the digital age, we estimate that that number will only increase, as will our profits. Obviously, our app has a lot of unique aspects. However, as with every company, we do have our competitors. Blue Apron, Proportion Meals, Pepper Plate, and Food Planner are just to name a few out of, among others, that share the common feature of assembling grocery lists. Our unique value proposition that separates us from these companies is that we personalize our grocery lists. We predict that because we personalize our grocery lists and we provide nutritional information, we estimate that we will have an advantage over our competitors.
So what is our plan for profit? For profit, we want to focus on our top 2 main channels. Our first channel would be our user subscriptions. After creating their app, we ask the user to decide whether they want a 6-month or 12-month subscription. This is where they pay $1 per month, and it's going to bring in most of our income. Our second source of income will be from companies and stores. This is where they can advertise their company or store or featured product of the month or whatever they so please on our app, and this will bring them to the top of our suggested lists. So once our users going through our app, picking out what they want to put in their meal plan, these advertisements will be at top and easiest for them to see and use.
So our financial model. First off, we here have our total addressable market. This shows the total amount of revenue that we think we can make. So we did the US population of people in our age range of 25 to 44-year-olds. That population is around 82 million people. We multiplied that by the subscription cost and how many times you'll pay it, which would be semi-annually, to get our final number of around $985 million that we can make in a year. But we also are slightly more realistic and realize that we're probably not going to get every single 25 to 44-year-old. So we chose everyone with an iPhone at least that isn't within our age range. This is around 21 million Americans. We did the same math of doing that semi-annual payment of $6, and we got around $255 million that we can make in a year.
So this is our website. Our website is pretty much to get our customers and people to give us feedback and get a little bit, or know a little bit about ourselves. Us as dietary detectives are looking forward to helping people, but in order to help people, we also need their feedback. And in simple steps, our website will direct you towards our app in the future that will get you set up and ready to make your meal plan.
We are asking for $7,000 in exchange for 15% of our company. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We are now open to questions.
Good job. Question is on the customer segmentation. That was obviously a very big number, the largest one. But how did you get to the Apple user segmentation of that group? What was the thinking behind that?
So our thinking was that, okay, so obviously it's going to be an app, and our website is mainly just going to redirect you to our app. And for right now, we would really like to start with the Apple iOS, since people don't commonly have Samsungs and Androids versus an iPhone, because Apple's currently, the reigning phone company. So that's why we came up with that number, and we were able to find some data on how many Americans use that, so that's how we got that number.
Hey, first of all, great job presenting. Camden, I think you did a great job. I know there's times when you lose your train of thought. Just keep going. You showed a lot of confidence, and seriously, you did a great job, so keep it up. One of the things I want you guys to think about is there's ways to monetize the data that you're capturing that you're not thinking about. Right now, you're thinking about subscription fees for the people who sign up. But if you look at business models like DirecTV, they make no money on the programming. They make all the money on the interaction with the TV, and they sell that to other people. So think about what interactions your install base will have with this app, what information you can capture, and then how can you monetize that out to other firms. I think your revenue could be potentially much larger if you actually get that install base to join your organization.
Great job. I really like this idea. I think that there's a misconception about that competition. The competition of the Blue Aprons and such are pre-planned, pre-proportioned, delivered meals to your home. The dietary detective is someone that's used for the person that's on the go. So it needs to relate to the quick serve food service, possibly fast food, dare we say, and then, of course, grocery stores and mom and pop independent restaurants. So there, to Ray's point, there is a tremendous amount of advertising revenue that's associated with directing person to an exact location. So if you can figure out a way to direct someone that's in Keokuk, Iowa, and he's driving along the highway and the only thing is McDonald's, he can find something that's going to fulfill his dietary needs in a healthy manner. So you've got a great opportunity, and Ray is right. You can make a ton more money than you're projecting. Good luck.
Yeah, the only comment I would have, and I've made pitches before, so you have to, use a market segmentation, but I would not, rule out people older than 44 who might want to use your app, and I also wouldn't rule out, other people who, besides iPhone users. So I get it for the pitch, but, certainly someone goes to the, Play Store on an Android or something, they could, easily use Dietary Detective, so.
Excuse me, back to the competition. You guys talked about Blue Apron and so forth. Just for my own curiosity, do you see like Uber Eats or, I don't know, Grubhub or, the grab and go at Mariano's for that matter as competition?
I would say no, because we are actually trying to link it with these stores and these possible restaurants if we would be able to. And we would actually have like the stores be able to get all the groceries ready. So the app would tell the store to go and find all these specific foods. So by the time that they can stop by, all they have to do is run in. So they're actually in our favor. I wouldn't consider that a competition.
So I think building on what Jerry just said, along those lines, you don't want to limit yourself to traditional grocery stores, Mariano's maybe. There's people travel, they're on the go, they're running between here and there, and opening that market or to other than just probably traditional, which is what I would have thought originally, so I'm with you guys, but think about other segments of the market that could service your application.
Yeah, so Jeff's right. So I'm one of those guys that's in a different city, in a different airport, in a different part of the world, 3-4 times a week. And it is one of the biggest struggles of travelers is to figure out that best practice. So maybe you target marketing in airports. The last time you've been to an airport, they're actually, the food service quality that's appearing now in airports today is spectacular, all the way up to 5-star restaurants. So if you can tie in with them, capture that data, and share that with all of the travelers just going through O'Hare on a daily basis, and direct them to places, the competition will see who's going to win and who's going to lose. And then they'll either change their menu plan or they'll sign up for the Dietary Detective.
We'll now take a short break for while they're switching their microphones. So if you'd like to go get food or hors d'oeuvres over there, you can, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes. Okay, please return to your seats. We're going to continue on. All right. Our last first-year group is Closet Collab. Group mates Claire Compere, Danny Norton, Ashley Nowak, and Ben Packer have been engaged in helping working women manage their time. This group is probably the loudest one in the classroom, but that just makes their enthusiasm for their work that much more obvious. Their group is the one that called me over most, always asking insightful questions, although sometimes it would just be an opinion on a theme for their PowerPoint. They're definitely an outgoing and enthused group that if you know anyone that takes years on end to get ready every morning, you'll want to think of investing in their serviceable idea. I now present to you Closet Collab.
So, picture this. You wake up late one morning and have a meeting at work you have to get to. It's 6:45 a.m. and your train leaves at 7 a.m. Your mind is in a jumble and you rush to get your morning tasks done. One is getting dressed. In the midst of rushing, you can't seem to put together an appropriate outfit for work. Think to yourself, are your clothes set out, ready to go in the morning? How many times have you been stressed out for being late to work?
Alternatively, say you're going out this weekend with a group of friends. You have no idea what to wear, but you do know you need to make a lasting impression with your outfit since you're meeting new people. A group chat's created between you and your friends to compare outfits, get opinions, and quickly come to a conclusion of which look to wear. However, you wish there was an easier, more effective, and efficient method to do so.
For all you guys out there, we understand that our clothing needs are sometimes different than the needs of women. Some of you guys out there want to wake up every day and wow everybody that you see with your classy style. When you wake up, sometimes it can be hard to find that variety within your closet. But imagine waking up with a perfectly organized closet and all the variety at your fingertips. That's the confidence that you need, and that's the confidence that will be at your fingertips every day.
How's it going? I'm Danny Norton.
I'm Claire Compere.
I'm Ben Packer.
I'm Ashley Nowak.
And we're Closet Collab. We're asking for $15,000 for 10% of our company. All right, so in figuring out a product for us, we sent out a problem interview to 200 people, age ranging between 25 to 60. We asked them questions about getting ready in the morning. One of the questions that we asked was, how long does it take you to get dressed in the morning? As you can see by the graph, over 60% said that they take 15 plus minutes getting ready. I'm willing to bet over half of those people, they take upwards of 20 to 25 minutes. This is a major issue. Why is this such a big issue? Because if there's a solution to this problem, these people can stop wasting this much time in the morning and use it for more productive things, such as making a more nutritional breakfast, doing a quick workout. If they have kids, they can help them get ready in the morning. Or if they don't have time normally, they can make their kids breakfast for once in a while. And it's not just that, it's also peace of mind. So after this interview, we started to make our business model canvas.
Arguably, the most important aspect of our BMC is our UVP, or our unique value proposition. Our unique value proposition is basically aimed at showcasing to our potential consumers really great features on our app and how it will help them out in the long run and how we can show that we're worthwhile compared to our competitors.
So we're going to have 3 main revenue streams. The first of which is going to be advertisements on our app. The second is going to be through a freemium/premium style of our app. This means that the person is going to pay 99 cents to get a better version of the app. What this includes is having more closet space, having more closets, and also getting new features before the free version. And the third one, which is not up there yet because we're not going to put it in there in the original version, is going to be the ability to buy clothes through our app. So we're going to partner with companies such as Kohl's, Adidas, Nike, Amazon, so people can purchase clothes through our app and we get a percentage of that sale.
Our early adopters are women. There are about 31 million women in the United States who are ages 25 through 40. Of that, there are about 1.9 million women living in Illinois who are employed. Of that 1.9 million, about 580,000 of those women are making $50,000 to $100,000 a year. For startup purposes, we're only taking about 1% of that market, which is going to be our serviceable, obtainable market.
So after all these numbers, our business model canvas, and sending out the problem interview, we sent out another interview asking people straight up, do you believe that an app would help you get dressed quicker in the morning? So another 60% said yes. Now, for the 40%, the thing with these people is that they're not contributing three main factors to this. They're thinking that they can get ready in the morning the same way, in the same amount of time, with the same things. Now, the very main factor of this that they're not thinking of is life. Now, I'm 17 years old. Most of the people in this audience right now are over twice my age. So this means that you guys know through experience you can't organize life. You can try, but life is a chaotic thing. Wouldn't you want something that would make it easier? Wouldn't you want an app that can make that life less chaotic? We're about to take a look at it.
So here is a visual representation of what we want the layout of our app to look like. We want our app to be very simple, minimal, and easy to maneuver through for our customers. Some of the features that we want to include on our app is your own profile where you can categorize and organize your own specific pieces of clothing, a calendar feature where you can pre-plan outfits on a day-to-day basis, and a friends portion where you can collab with friends and ask for their opinion on what to wear and what not to wear.
Our projected startup costs for building a prototype for our app will cost approximately $15,000. We have connections with Packer Labs who we've spoken with, and he's very excited about helping us build our prototype for this. Additionally, another figure you see here, $360, is how much it will cost to build up our marketing strategy. We're hoping to expose our app to both Instagram and Facebook audiences. We will expose it to a total of 6,000 people, 3,000 people per platform, and we're going to do 10 bursts of this. It will cost about $360. The last figure you see here, $800, is how much it costs to send out our flyers. It costs about $80 per 200 flyers. We're going to do 10 bursts of this in total, which will be $800. And in total, our projected startup cost will be approximately a little over $16,000.
When plotting our 5-year financial model, we used a well-developed method to determine the future of our app and our revenue. Based on the 25% annual consistent increase of our market that we determined, our TAM and SAM, which is our market in this instant, will be increasing exponentially every single year. Our revenue that you see is based on the amount of units that we sell, which I will be explaining on the next slide, and will be increasing steadily throughout our 5 years of startup. By the beginning of year 3, we're confident that we're going to be turning a major profit. We estimate here that in our first month, we're going to sell about 10 units because of our startup, and after we advertise and we market ourselves well, we're confident that we will exponentially increase the market size, and we're going to expose ourselves to a lot more people. Our units that we're selling are not to the people who are downloading our app, but they are the people who are downloading our app and buying the in-app purchases. After a few years, we're confident that our revenue will exponentially grow as we get more customers buying our in-app purchases.
Not surprisingly, there's a whole other segment of apps and businesses out there that are competing in the same or similar market as we are. Among these include our direct competitors, for example, My Dressing or Closet Plus, as well as our indirect competitors like Stylicious or Stylebook. Our direct competitors are actually apps, and we're competing directly with them because we are an app ourselves. And our direct competitors, I've downloaded all of these. They're all distinctions without differences. They all offer the same features, calendar, pre-planning, which we will offer as well, but I'll discuss a little bit later what sets us apart. And our indirect competitors are websites, which obviously we still need to be conscientious about what their releasing out to their consumers so we can transgress that as well. So what sets us apart from our competitors? What makes us that much more unique and that much more worthwhile? The answer to this question is laid in the very groundwork of the name of our app, Closet Collab. We not only strive to create efficiency in everyday people's routine, we also strive to create collaboration between you and your peers. I know I'm not the only one who finds myself asking my peers before we go out on any given weekend what they're planning on wearing. I always ask myself one of 3 questions. Am I underdressed? Am I overdressed? Or should I even wear this at all? And I'm sure we all face these issues as well. The answer to this question is laid in the voting section of our app. It's super easy. All you need to do is upload a picture of any look you create, or you can even upload any given looks created by our stylists on our app, and through there, your peers will be able to give opinions on their looks, and from there you can choose which outfit you want to rock actually for any given event, and through there we're hoping to gain that traction to transgress all of our competitors.
So here's a view of what our website is currently. Our website is pretty much just an information-based thing for knowing what our app is going to have in it. On our website is a look at what the layout is for our app and what the features are that we are going to have on our app, and our customers can get in touch with us through our app, and they can give us suggestions on what to put on the app and any suggestions of what not to put in the app.
So for our platforms, our email is closetcollab@gmail.com. And as you can see, our website, we still need to buy the domain. So part of the funds that we're going to use if we get funding tonight will be to buy that domain. Thank you all for your undivided attention. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job. Really nice job. My wife always tells me that I'm really sensitive, and I say that I'm not. But I'm feeling like left out because, again, I don't feel like I'm one of your customer segments because I'm older than 45. So, anyway, I mean, this is something that see, okay, thank you. This is something that I think for older people, that we're often, as we get older, on the go even more. Believe it or not, I know you guys, we're so old. Really consider, expanding your customer segment. And just one other point, a little off topic too, is I think, and we've talked about this with other groups, but the data that you collect will also be a valuable asset that you would have that you might be able to sell down the line as a revenue stream. So, my comments.
Thank you.
So guys, answer me this question. How does the consumer build this digital library of all of their clothes?
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen my daughter's closet, and I don't know how long this will take.
So it's going to be kind of a grueling process in the beginning. You're going to have to take pictures of all your clothes, organize them, and that's the thing we're going to add on later is a stylist to help you out. That's when you're part of the paid version though. But if it's a free version, you're going to have to style it. You're going to have to put your clothes in certain categories by yourself. You're going to take, it's going to be brutal. You're going to have to take pictures of, if you have 500 clothes, you're going to take 500 pictures. But after you're done doing that, it's going to be a breeze from there because you're going to have everything organized. You're going to know what's in there. You're going to know what categories you have, and you can add things very easily too.
No, excellent. And I'm glad you said that because, when first time we had a lot of suggestions on how to improve on that, and I'm glad that you guys all listened and took it to heart, and you did a fantastic job of setting up your program. More importantly, to us as the guys up here, you actually showed real numbers, which is impressive because it is almost impossible to set up a functional website without a significant amount of investment if you want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I echo what Jerry just said. I felt that the information you presented was really comprehensive. Your competitive set, your financials with a 1% target rate, I think that's real, right? Versus just giving us a subset of the United States. I also felt that the visualization that you did with the website as well as the mobile helps us visualize what the experience is going to be like, and that's what you're selling is an experience. I think the secret sauce that you pulled upon that's going to make or break this site is that friend or that social aspect of it. That's what's going to draw people to this and want to make them use it. I think your revenue is going to be driven a lot through the affiliate sales, right? Your click-through to any of the clothing sites is going to start to drive a significant revenue stream if you get that critical mass into your site. So great job, great presentation.
Thank you very much.
Good job, great presentation. Fashion technology is very hot, so it's a great topic that you guys chose to put your business in. I think that one opportunity as well with the data that you'll be kind of subsuming from the consumers, having the matches and having people make comments on what you should wear, shouldn't wear, what you like, what you don't like, all those pictures. I think that's a huge opportunity for some smaller retail partners. You had mentioned Kohl's and some of the larger ones, but some of the up-and-coming fashion brands would be very interested in that kind of data, especially, there's been a lot of talk about the demographics, but definitely on the younger set, because they're used to fashion forward as well as fashion on demand, kind of the quick serve, fast food style fashion. So definitely think about the opportunity to use the data and insights you have to have those fashion brands and those retailers pay you for those insights and that data.
Hey, one last thing I just thought of. If you're going to an event, you can quickly click on who else is going to that event and immediately see what everyone else is wearing, and that would help you determine what's the right outfit to choose from your closet. Yeah. That could be really cool.
Thank you.
I agree. I was just going to echo that same point. As a person that's in corporate offices all across the United States, if I'm in at Google, T-shirt and jeans is the norm there. Okay, but if I'm in an IBM, it's suit and tie. So I need to know that. I need to understand what the places I'm going to, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's an event, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a different part of the city. So great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll wait another few minutes so that they can transfer the microphone to our final presentation of the night. Do you need help? Do you want me to bring the chairs? Our final pitch comes from a senior with a hope to help those in the Carmel community. Anthony Passarelli and his Carmel Cafe have been long in the works. He is the first student to go through this process twice. Not only that, but he is also our first solo incubator student in the course's history. I could tell stories for about 2 years about Anthony, but one thing that comes to mind is from the very first day of class. Each student had to give a presentation about themselves to let the groups get to know each other. When Anthony stood up, one of the very first slides was a picture of his car. If you know Anthony, that car is probably his life. The amount of times he's talked about his Chevy Cruze is never ending. But from that presentation on, I knew he would go about this class with just as much excitement and devotion that he has for his car. Anthony's presentations never fail to get me reeled in, and if you're interested in a non-for-profit, creative idea that'll impact the Carmel community, this is the pitch to see. I'm proud to present Carmel Cafe.
On any given day, about 75% of U.S. children and teens drink caffeine. Lately, they've been drinking even more coffee than soda.
Carmel students are just like students across the country. They want coffee in the morning and throughout the day, but leaving campus is a problem. Introducing the Carmel Cafe for coffee, community, and collaboration. The Carmel Cafe is for everyone here at Carmel. It's not specifically singling out a certain type of person at Carmel. It's for the senior who doesn't leave enough time at the beginning of the day, much like me, to stop at Dunkin' and get to school on time. It's for the junior who's working in a group project and needs to find a location central to everybody. It's for the sophomore who doesn't drive themselves to school, who their parents don't want to drive them to Dunkin' or Starbucks. And it's for the freshman who is looking to make friends and enjoy coffee or other beverages with friends. Our two major competitors are Starbucks and Dunkin', the places that I go to. Starbucks and Dunkin', they both sell coffee to people who need caffeine throughout the day, but yet their business models are very different. Starbucks is more high-end, it's pricey. They sell to people who want a higher quality. They want the aesthetic of Starbucks, and they provide an environment that invites people in and invites people to stay, whether it's studying or just hanging out. Dunkin', on the other hand, they target people who want to save money and drink coffee and are willing to sacrifice the quality of their coffee. Dunkin' also is a fast food chain, and it doesn't really give that environment feel that makes you want to stay and do your homework or study or just hang out. Being at Carmel and being a organization that's on campus is really beneficial to us in the way that we don't need marketing. But marketing is important for many startups where they're looking to get their name out there and they have to spend money to make money. But we won't be spending $1,000 to get people to know who we are, because we have the morning announcements, we have word of mouth, we have flyers, and we have social media that are right at our fingertips. However, being here at Carmel and being a part of the community, we have this awesome opportunity to invite other students into the project that we're taking part of, and such students as marketing students and graphic design students. Because even though we don't need marketing, we, I hope to invite them in and have them create pieces for us for whether it's sales or special holiday things or just new happenings at the cafe. This is the location that I hope for it to be at. It's in the IC, directly across the hallway. It's a very appropriate location because it's in between the student lounge, which is right out those windows, and the academic hallways, which is appropriate because what the cafe is going to be is a space where you can do academic work, but you can also do social, not social work, but social activities with your friends. Unless you wanted to get philanthropic, sorry, or yeah. So this is what goes into one unit of our product. It's a cup of coffee. For this presentation, I'll be using the example of a medium cup of hot coffee, which is 16 ounces. The first and the most expensive part is the coffee beans. We've reached out to the Hansa Coffee Roasters in Libertyville, Illinois, right down the street. And they are willing to provide coffee for $9.28 for 2 gallons of coffee. But the really cool part is that they want they want to give us their technology and their machinery. So we won't have to spend $20,000 to buy it on our own or more. So that's really helpful, and we're saving money. Additionally, to make the coffee cup, you need the cup, the lid, the sleeve, the creamer, sweetener, sugar. This is going to be a cafe where not like a pot here and you have to put your own sugar in, because I have no idea how to do that. Especially as a sophomore, as a freshman, I was like, yeah, give me that $5 thing because you put all the good stuff in it. And I just didn't know what was going in it, but it tasted good. So many Carmel students don't know how to make coffee. I learned the hard way when my mom said you're out of money. Shout out, hey mom. So yeah, just being able to serve Carmel members by making coffee for them and making it taste good is just a huge benefit to us. And so our final gross margin is 64% with the 6, and that's selling it at $2.50, which is very competitive in between the Dunkin' and the Starbucks. So at the beginning of the year, I went in the hallways, I was like, everybody take the survey! And I'm like airdropping it onto people's phones, and I'm like, yeah, open it up. Yeah, fill that out. Good, you did it, good. Okay, next classroom. Hi, Mr. Rafferty, I'm here. I just want all of your students to take the survey real quick. A lot of people took it. We had over 400 people take it. That's about a little bit over, under, I don't really know what our numbers are right now, but we have around 1,300 students here at Carmel Catholic. So 20% of the respondents said that they drink coffee once a day, at least once a day for each week, which was, I'm in that. And then 16% of the respondents said that they drink coffee once or twice a week, 14 said 3 to 4 times a week, and 5% said 5 to 6 times per week. So this, sorry, there's a lot of numbers there, but I'll explain it all. I just needed to fit it all on there so I remember. So 20% said that they drink coffee more than once, at least once a week, once a day per week. Sorry, lots of slashes and days and weeks. So that's like the best case scenario. We realize that if we do have a coffee shop here, not everyone's going to go there all the time. People are still going to go to the Dunkin' or the Starbucks or the little independent roasters that it is at the corner of Grays Lake. But at the same time, we're realizing that the worst we could probably get is 10%, which is 130 students, 10% of 1,300. So our probable, is this a laser? Oh yeah. Our probable is 15% of that population, which is 195 students. And if 195 students are buying our product for $2.50 per day, multiply that by 23 days because we're not here on Saturdays and Sundays, that's going to be $487.50 per day. And then multiply that by 23. I'm sorry, you're not multiplying the first one, you're multiplying the 195 and 250. That would be a lot of money. And our total revenue for our month is $11,212.50. That's a lot of numbers. So our 5-year summary. We're going to get back to those numbers in just a second, finding out what our actual profit is from this. You've got the growth rate, year 2 going on 25%, and then being more conservative with the numbers and keeping it at 15 for a while, because we actually don't know what's in the future. But as you can see, the product revenue total, I can't even read those words, that almost doubles by year 5. So now back to those numbers to find a good price that our profit will be. 4,485 cups is how much cups will be sold if we go by how we were going in a month. And that's 312.5 coffee units that Hans is selling to us for $9.28 each, which is 2 gallons. So that's a lot of coffee. So multiply the 312.5 by the $9.28, and you get $2,900 per month, and that's what we're spending on coffee and machinery. So it's not just coffee. We're getting all this machinery, which is a huge plus for just starting out. And then sorry, I'm trying to aim this well. The $1,637 for supplies, that goes back to what is built into one product or one unit of the coffee, the cup, the lid, the sleeve, the stirs, the napkins, even though you're not putting napkins in your coffee, I hope not. And that's for 5,000 cups for the entire month. Even though that's a little bit over our monthly quota, that's a good solid number to go after. And so our total monthly cost is going to be $4,537 per month, which will be taken out of the $11,212 to get our gross profit of $6,675, which is a lot of money. It's more than I have in my bank account. So, we are not in session all year. As much as I would love to have a year-round education, here for summer, here for the holidays, I kind of put it at 10 months. Even though we do get off for the holidays, people tend to start drinking warmer beverages around the holiday season because it's cold, because Chicago rocks. Sorry for my humor, I just love Chicago. I'm going to Bloomington next year and it's warmer there. So that's multiplying that last number by 10 for each month to get 66,755, which is more than out-of-state tuition at Bloomington, Indiana, believe it or not. So this is my favorite part of this whole presentation and this whole opportunity is if I were to have it the way that I want and the way that I hope you guys all want it is that this would operate as a nonprofit business instead of a actual lucrative business. Because we are going to make bank, but I think that it's cooler to use bank to help other students who are less fortunate than us. So our vision is for the profits and the proceeds after all the expenses are taken out to go to fund a secret or mystery students scholarship that will take them through all 4 years here that they wouldn't have had otherwise because of financial circumstances. So what funds are required to bring this cafe to fruition? $30,000. Let's talk about it. I know that's a lot of money. Yeah. All right, so $9,000 for plumbing. I have a classmate friend who his dad was able to give me a decent quote. It's still a lot of money. To get plumbing into the IC area, that's sinks, that's pipes, that's draining, and that's what I'm hoping it's $9,000 for. And then $10,000 for operations that covers the first 2 months of product that we're gonna be buying to sell the coffee. So we're not just like going step by step, we're like getting a launch out there. And then $10,000 for renovations, we're gonna talk about that now. I'm a huge HGTV fan, so watch me go off. All right, so this is the amphitheater that exists there right now. It's dark, it's like one of those, you know, I'm not even gonna bring the analogies out from all those shows that I watch. So it's dark, it's cramped, it's actually a waste of space in my own opinion. If you walk over there now, there's a catapult sitting there. I don't know. So our vision is that we'll be able to open that space out a little bit and add some windows, bring some more life into the place. And that's where the countertops and the sinks and all the equipment would go, as well as opening the space up so we could have a line started so people can order and pay. And then across the hallway, it's a really small hallway, it's not busy at all, is the seating arrangements, seating area. That's already a place that people go to print at the last minute because my printer doesn't work. Thanks, Dad. Sorry, that was totally unprofessional. But currently, at this moment, it's not very organized well. It's kind of, the tables are really heavy. I tried to get them up here, but it didn't happen. It's not organized very well. There's limited seating. With funds that we have left over from the amphitheater remodel, I'd want to use those to make benches on, like to wrap around the corners and just provide more efficient seating for more efficient space. Exit strategy. This is not a profitable business. This is a nonprofit, so it's not going to have a traditional exit strategy. We're not going to sell all of our assets. We're not going to sell, liquidate our assets. I don't even know what that means, but it's a term that I hear. And we're not going to sell it to a buyer. It's after I'm done here, I graduate this fall. Oh wait, I graduate like next week. Oh my gosh. I still plan on helping out throughout the summer and throughout the early stages of the fall to see this thing up and running, but I plan on exchanging the power to our future NBHS leaders who will rise up and manage the, you can actually see Sydney's right there. She's right there as well. She looked really good in that, so I put that in. But yeah, they'll be taking over with help from Ms. Lingren and the other business classes. And I'm also really excited for the multiple opportunities that will come from this in the future. Like the building of profit will go to building of scholarships, so it won't be just one student, it will be like multiple students at once. So we'll have a whole bunch of students coming to Carmel who wouldn't have been able to have this opportunity if this cafe didn't exist. And then also in the future, we have growth. When I pitched my MVP, people had some really good ideas that I was like, wow, let's first start with the cafe and then we can get the mobile app or the mobile ordering or the drive-through. Yeah, drive-through, okay. Let's just put a big line of cars in the parking lot. I already have that. But yeah, there's so many ideas that can come out of this in the future, but we just need to start now and start with a cafe here at Carmel. So, Sharks, let's get brewing. All right, roast me.
Anthony, first of all, phenomenal job. Excuse me. You're up there all by yourself, man. That's great. I mean, your cohorts there, they were great, and it was very clever the way you opened up your presentation, but I give you kudos for doing this all by yourself. So that's number one.
Thank you.
What about expansion beyond Carmel? I mean, we all love Carmel, right? I don't know that I heard, maybe you did at the end there, any talk about any sort of a mobile app or anything, you know, because I know there's already platforms available for kids to collaborate and socialize and, you know, meet at the Carmel Cafe, but perhaps there's something that would help then in turn attract advertisers, right? So some sort of app, whether it sits on an iPhone or on an Android, maybe both.
Do people still use Androids?
See, that's a misconception.
Oh, man.
Well, Mr. Jensen, because he's an old guy, but no, you know, actually that's not true. You know, Android's made some huge inroads that we can't sell those guys short. So
sorry, I didn't mean to
well, no, the previous, I mean, I have an iPhone, but the previous team really needs to think about that as well. So a mobile app to, and I got to, you know, we'd have to think about this a little bit, but to, you know, just attract more than just the 300 kids here at Carmel that drink coffee, right? Your defined market. And then beyond that, of course, there's dozens of other high schools in the area and hundreds in the state and thousands everywhere, right? So this is a pretty cool application. One thing I would also, or one thing I might suggest is go easy on the startup. You got a lot of build out there. You got $30,000 tied up in, or maybe 20,000, yeah, 30,000 in plumbing and all these other things. Think about renting space. Have Carmel, you know, do some sort of revenue share perhaps. Have Carmel or your target provide the capital, and then you just create, you know, just make an operating expense. So every month you pay some sort of rent for the space. It might be a leaner way and a more flexible way to at least start up, and then as you move along and maybe expand to other high schools, it would help, you know, with your cash flow a little bit. So great job.
Thank you.
Anthony did a great job, and again, kudos to you for doing this all by yourself. You're good at this, so keep it going.
Thanks.
Did you get quotes and anything for the plumbing, you know, the $9,000 plumbing costs, and did you talk to Carmel about that at all?
I did pitch to a building maintenance guy, but he never really gave me a quote on it. And so I did get that $9,000 from my friend's dad yesterday.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So it's not very.
Well, that's still pretty good. Okay, thanks.
Anthony, first of all, great job. When you graduate from college, not in the fall, but in the spring, 4 years from now, you look me up because I'm going to hire you. Okay? You did. You did a fantastic job.
Okay. You hear that, Mom?
Exactly. You touched on something that was really bothering me when you started off, because I actually own an advertising agency and I work with Dunkin' Donuts, so I'm pretty deep into their marketing strategy and their forward thinking. And by the way, the store of the future, their new store that's in Amsterdam, is unbelievable. You will feel right at home there. But you touched on a quality conception that I'm glad you addressed, and you didn't have that in the first presentation. So you really need to play up the Hansa relationship that you're building, because
at the end of the day, there's a reason why those two brands are so strong, because there's a quality conception that goes along with them. Secondly, excellent job on the equipment. Great job with the direct marketing. And finally, the concept of causal marketing, of allowing students less fortunate to get a tuition reimbursement from the proceeds associated. My only question to you is, are you planning on pricing below the competitors nearby, the Starbucks and Dunkins of the world, while maintaining a quality conception with the Hansa brand?
So are you saying that Hansa is like...
Hansa's the best. Hansa's one of the most premium brands out there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a cost associated with that. But if you can figure out a way to get that cost down, and because you don't need to run it quite the margins a Dunkin' and a Starbucks need to, and you can actually come in, you know, 25 cents, 50 cents below what those guys are competing, now you've got a quality product at a better price that has a cause driven behind it in tuition support. It's a home run.
Thank you.
Hey, Anthony, I'm going to echo what these guys said. Anyone that can get up in front of a couple hundred people and pitch something, my hat's off to you. I wish I had the courage that you have at this age. That's pretty impressive. First of all, I think you're onto something. When I think about Dunkin' Donuts, they sell convenience. Starbucks sells experience. You've got a captive audience, right? You've got students that are here that are looking for coffee, so you can capture both those essences. You've got convenience and you can create the experience. So it's a win-win. Mm-hmm. I think the other thing that's really important is you're hitting Carmel's core values, which is all about connections and giving back. And I think that's the real value prop for you to get this across through the administration, is to pull on those strings, less about the profit, because the one thing that's missing from your calculation is the labor to generate and create that coffee that you think tastes so well. I didn't see labor in your model at all. And so somebody's going to have to sit behind there to serve the coffee to the students.
That's why we're going to use the NBHS students and the students that are in the management classes, because NBHS needs service hours, so instead of giving them the money, we can give them hours instead.
Great call. Okay.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned that, but I
That's
guess
fine.
I didn't.
Last thing I would offer up is, are we going to come up with, what happens if you're off getting coffee or late for class? Are we going to have a coffee pass now, as well as a hall pass? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Great job.
Absolutely, great job. Your energy, your presentation is contagious. People were having fun. You were having fun, and so that makes it very easy to sit through a lot of the numbers you had. One of the things that's exciting about the numbers is you mentioned coffee. I personally don't drink coffee, but I go to coffee shops all the time. Why? Because there's people there, there's activities there, there's events there, and oh, by the way, they sell water, they sell juice, croissants, bagels, etc. And so surprisingly, those numbers could actually be much better, much higher. So you don't have to target the 20% of students who drink coffee. It's 100% of anyone who walks by as a potential customer to buy something, and to tie it into the Carmel community and some of the values, having opportunities for kids and families to try out their recipes or what have you on snacks or brownies or lemonade or whatever the case may be. It could definitely be a Carmel cafe, but also an incubator in and of itself to help folks that are interested in that. So great job.
Thank you. Sorry.
Nice job. Did you? As our sharks deliberate, we will now have Liz Schuler come up and present her experiences within this program. Liz is a senior who had the privilege of participating in the Business Incubator program last year. Her and her team created the company Curo, and she continued on with the program at Dayton this past summer. Liz will be attending University of Dayton this fall, majoring in entrepreneurship and finance. I am proud to present my classmate and friend, Liz Schuler.
Hi everyone.
I'm Liz Schuler, and I'm a senior here at Carmel. As a freshman, I decided to take the Intro to Business class. I was very shy when it came to taking leadership roles in that class. I love what we were learning, but I never thought I had the courage to get up in front of the class and interview for our CEO positions that our mock companies required. I excelled when it came to working in a group, and I really ended up enjoying that class. So my sophomore year, I took more business classes, and at the end of the year, my business teacher, Miss Lindgren, came up to me and told me about a new business program called Business INcubator. The class allowed students to actually create companies and go through the startup process. It sounded like an amazing opportunity, so I signed up, and when junior year came around, I was so eager for this new journey. The class was such a wonderful experience. I worked with a group of 3 other amazing girls to create a teen finance app. Ms. Lindgren brought in local business owners to speak and mentor us and help my group throughout our startup process. My group had the idea for creating a teen finance app called Curo. Curo would teach teens the value of money and importance of savings to create successful financial foundations for their future. Creating Curo Finance was a great experience and gave me a first look into being an entrepreneur. At the end of the program, we had a final pitch in the auditorium for possible investors, just like the one tonight. Leading up to that moment was the most scary thing, public speaking-wise, I had ever done. I felt like a freshman again, too nervous to get up in front of the class, or in this case, the investors. My group had worked so hard throughout the year, and we knew our company like the back of our hands. So we got up there, and I wasn't able to just start speaking, but I was able to talk about our product with passion and excitement. Walking off that stage, I was content and proud of our group. So although my group in INcubator didn't get funding my junior year, that class overall helped me in more ways than I could ever imagine. So this past summer, I did a business class at the University of Dayton. The class was a condensed version of the INcubator program. Having experience from INcubator helped me so much throughout the class, with business models and the motions of creating a startup. At the end of the 2 weeks, we had a pitch competition, just like the one tonight. My pitch had to be up to 3 minutes and had to have at least 3 slides. I tried to style my pitch the same way I did in INcubator, with an aspect that has a story and then it leads into how my product solves a problem. The night before, everyone stayed up practicing and perfecting their pitches, and the day of the pitch, I definitely had nerves, but then I thought about how much bigger I thought the pitch for INcubator was. So I got up there and gave the best possible pitch I could. My past experience in INcubator had shown me not to expect anything, except to be happy with the work that I put into my product. After presenting, I knew from that moment on, I wanted to be a part of the business world. Then, out of everyone in the camp, I actually won getting a $40,000 scholarship to UD. So, thank you. So I would like to thank Ms. Lindgren for giving me that opportunity to do the INcubator class, because I honestly would not have done as well at Dayton if I didn't do INcubator, and I want to thank you for believing in me. I was able to find my passion through these 2 opportunities, and for that I am forever grateful. Thank you.
We're going to have a couple minutes while we wait for the sharks to come back so you all can talk amongst yourselves for a little bit. If I could ask everyone to please take your seats, the Sharks have returned and would like to share their decision with the audience.
Hi, first of all, thank you so much for coming out. It's a pleasure to see all the parents and young people interested in this great concept. Most of us in the area are well aware of what it takes to have that entrepreneurial spirit, to take something from its infancy and build it into something great. So that alone, I give all of the participants a huge round of applause, because that alone is a difficult task, and I see a bright future for all of them.
So great job. It was very enjoyable to be in this experience and hearing from wonderful young people. It's great to see the passion in your ideas. It's okay to be nervous. It shows the audience that you care about something, that it's very important to you, and that's how our bodies work and create those nerves. So good job pushing through those. It's also okay to smile and tell jokes and get the audience on your side. I wanted to say a couple of positive things about junior jobs first, and that is that the category of jobs is very key to everyone, has to go through that, and your points about teen jobs and focusing on the youth is key, since things are changing. Tying that into technology and the subscription model was a very smart idea, and I think there are definitely potentials in that piece, because we all have to deal with jobs, and those of you that have children at this high school and going to college, that's going to be something that's key as well.
I picked dietary detectives, and for me, it's the social aspect of it, right? Obesity is a major issue that we face in this country. In fact, if you look at the life expectancy in the U.S., it's the one country where it's actually going down, and it's largely driven by diet. So anytime that you can pick a cause that's solving a larger social need, for me, kind of hits you in the heartstring as well as the head. So I thought those guys picked a great topic. The other aspect of it is the mobile side. So I don't know about you, but I take my mobile phone with me everywhere. Like if I go to work, if I leave my wallet, I'll still go to work. I figure I can borrow $5 from somebody to buy lunch. But if I forget my phone, I turn around and I go get it. And so having that mobile device right in front of you, reminding you every day on how to eat healthy, I think that's going to do some great things for our country.
I just want to commend real quick all the kids. I've been involved in Business Incubator now 2 years. My son went through it last year, and I am just floored by how astute these kids are at this age. I mean, far ahead of where I was at that age. It's just amazing. So I picked Closet Collab. I personally would find the most use out of that. I thought their presentation was just fantastic. The use and to make my getting ready in the morning that much quicker would be great. So I thought they did a great job. I think there's definitely potential there. So I really think they did a great job.
I too would like to commend everybody. I was part of the incubator program last year as well. I did the prelim round, which was really cool because we were able to help critique last year's group, which was I think 6 teams. When I walked out of that place the first time, I guess it was probably February, I was blown away by these 16, 17-year-old kids, the creativity, the thought process, the leadership, and just the fact that, as we talked about, getting in front of a bunch of not only adults but peers, because I think it's tougher to speak in front of your peers, right? So I thought these guys would have a tough act to follow today. Today's 4 teams, and they shine just as well as the group I experienced last year. So kudos and commendations to all you guys. Great job. I'm going to talk about Carmel Cafe. I think that's it was probably the most tangible of at least to me, and my kind of simple way of thinking, because it's we can all envision this coffee stand and coffee tables. I think Anthony did a great job with his visuals by having his co-stars up there with him at the beginning of the presentation to give us the the visualization and kind of the vibe of what the Carmel Cafe might really be. I thought, to me, that really struck home. The rest of it, he got, you know, with all due respect, and this is a little constructive criticism, you got a little hung up on the numbers, Anthony, and that's fine. Forget about the pennies, you know, I mean, just kind of hit to the heart of the matter when it comes to the financials. Beyond that, it was phenomenal. So I give Carmel Cafe, you know, my highest recommendation and commendation, but I also agree with my esteemed colleagues here that all 4 teams did a great job, just an awesome job. So again, congratulations to everybody.
So, with that said, it would not be a Carmel event if there wasn't the request for money, right? It only makes sense, right? So, we are here to just offer our guidance and support and enthusiasm for the passion that these young students put forth in this effort. But feel free to engage with them after this event and give them all of the money that they richly deserve, right? And then you too will be an entrepreneur. And then you will be a part of the growth and prosperity of these fine young people. So the difficult part is that we would like to take all of our funds and invest in all of them, but they have given us a certain dollar amount, and that particular dollar amount needs to go to one particular team, and it's a collective group of individuals sharing very positive and very inspiring Carmel Cafe as a winner. Good job. Good job. Yeah? Get your investors. Get your investors. Now feel free to invest. Tables are open here. Give them all the money in the world. So thank you. Oh, Shelley, or I don't know where she is.